First, I want to thank the association for organizing this conference, and also thanks to invite me to give this talk. And also, as this is the first time I come to England, I want to give my tribute to England, and also, I'm a fan of Isaac Newton. I think with his give the mathematical computation of the gravity, leads to cultivation of the scientific revolution and also Enlightenment movement. It kind of remind me, this conference we're doing the computation of consciousness. I hope we can really make some progress on this field and it leads to further enlightenment of humanity. So my talk today is going to be about holographic quantum theory of consciousness. This is a work of about 40 years of my work. And so I'm going to talk about the 3 papers. 2 of them is already accepted for the publishment in this month. And another one is I just finished up writing it. So the problem of consciousness is really two questions we need to answer. One is, how does our body, the physical body, has an experience of the consciousness? What is this process is? Another is, how does consciousness affect the physical reality? So I'm hoping to come up with mathematical formula to address both of these questions. And so this is first is a quantum theory of consciousness. This is going to give new interpretation of quantum physics. And this can solve the quantum measurement problem. So this work is published quite a few years ago. So this can basically, so based on this new interpretation of quantum physics, I'm going to build this quantum consciousness, quantum theory of consciousness. So, so I will just go directly in. So this new way of thinking about quantum physics is based on the 2 insights, which that's we got. The first is principle is that the basic constituents of everything is the quantum vibrational field. So this is a discovery of the quantum physics. So quantum physics basically is look at things at deeper and deeper level, find out what really everything is made up at the deepest level, and you find out everything is actually quantum field vibration, right? And so what we added to this in a new way of look at quantum physics is that this quantum vibrational field of everyone carries 3 things. One is matter, one is energy, and one is information. So this is our first principle of how to understand quantum physics. And so what is matter? Matter is something we can see, what we can hear, what can we observe, we can measure, right? And the energy is what can move and change the matter. And so what is information? Information is what informs, to give the form and shape to energy and matter. So it's mathematically can describe by the probabilities, right, of at certain possible states. So and then the second principle that can lead us to truly understand quantum measurement problem is that so the quantum measurement happens when an object or observer receives the vibration, receive and process the quantum vibration, which includes information, energy, and matter, and then leads to, so after this detector in the quantum measurement, you have a detector and you absorb the quantum vibrations and then process this vibrations, and then you can have show some change in this detector. So that is what really the quantum measurement in our theory is about absorbing the vibration. So it's not about collapse the wave function. It's about reabsorb the quantum vibrations. So this is our interpretation. So this absorb this quantum vibrations through the resonance process, and then leads to the measurement of the quantum phenomena, and also leads to the, in our theory, leads to the subjective conscious experience. So this is a way interpretation of how a physical body or anything can have a consciousness. How does it happen at a quantum level? Yeah, it's basically absorb the quantum vibrations. And so a conscious experience or quantum measurement happens when we can activate our body to receive the quantum vibration information and matter, and then that after we receive it, the information tells the energy how to move, and information moves the matter. Matter is what we experience, and so this is how the conscious experience happens. And so that in quantum physics, everything is described by the wave function, right? Wave function tells us the possible energetic state, and also the probability at each state. So probability at each state is basically in the information, right? And energy is in a wave function, and the matter depends on the observer. Yeah, what we experience, it depends on the observer. If you use your eyes to receive the visible light, right, you experience a visual, right? If you use your mouth to, taste, right, you have this experience of the taste. So your experience depends on the observer, what you observe, what vibration you receive. So in this interpretation of quantum physics, we can explain how the consciousness happens. And also, I want to address what is classical physics. So in this interpretation of quantum physics, classical physics is basically, so quantum phenomena is behind everything, and that is the most fundamental thing in the world. So, and the things appear classical is only because our observation, when we observe something, we have a skill, time and space skill to observe some phenomena. So when this observation scale is much bigger than this quantum phenomena, this frequency and vibration of the quantum vibrations, then this object or this phenomena appear as classical. So it does not involve this theory does not involve quantum wave function collapse. It just depends on your measurement. If your measurement time scale is much bigger than a quantum scale, then everything appears classical. Yeah. So this is according to our theory. So in our theory, we think we need quantum physics to study study the consciousness. And this quantum theory can really explain how the consciousness happens, and partly because in this quantum theory this mathematic formula has the information aspect, and the consciousness is related to the information of an object. So that is why we need the quantum physics to study the consciousness, and also how this life have a conscious experience is because of this. Our body has a structure, has an order and connection, coherence and correlation. All this phenomena we need the quantum physics to study. Classical physics is not enough to understand this kind of phenomena. And also the consciousness, a lot of consciousness in our brain depends on the vibration, the brain waves. And to really study how our structure creates these brain waves, we need to use quantum physics to mathematically to calculate them. So that is why quantum physics are really needed to study consciousness. So in our theory, we can solve the hard problem. I'm not going to go to detail. In our paper, we really show how to do that. But you get an idea how we solve that problem. To address that problem. So the prediction of our theory is that there exists a universal vibrational field. So because quantum physics, everything is a vibrational field, and this vibrational field exists in all space and time. So all the field is everywhere. So there exists a universal vibrational field, and everything can absorb this vibration from, and also we can send out vibration to this field. And so this is a prediction from this theory. And then we find out this prediction actually can explain why there exists a large scale and almost instantaneous synchrony of the brain waves. And also this can not only happen in different parts of the brain, but it also happens in different parts of the body, and also happens among different people globally, and also among the people with certain locations. For example, one of the examples is a Schumann resonance. Schumann resonance is basically a set of the frequencies that are generated by the Earth's ionospheric cavity resonance. So this kind of so they discovered that some of our brain waves is correlated with the Schumann resonance. Literally, you can measure it. And also they discovered that our EEG rhythms also tends to become synchronous with Schumann resonance. And also the brain waves, the frequency also corresponds to the Schumann resonance. So in our theories, this is very easy to understand. And the current classical theory has difficulty to explain it. And so basically, the way to explain this in this quantum theory is basically some part of our body, we have the structure to resonate with the Schumann resonance, and then you can absorb the Schumann resonance, and then that part of the body can become, vibrate in the Schumann resonance frequency. And then, and if a different part of the body can receive the vibration from the Schumann resonance, then different part of the body become synchronized with the Schumann resonance, and then different part of the body themselves also become synchronized. And also people in the different parts of the world can also become synchronized through this universal vibrational field. So this quantum theory of consciousness can explain all these experimental findings before it was not cannot be understood, and the classical theory cannot fully account for this kind of a global coherence that exists. And so another prediction is that we should study the brain's neural network as a quantum information system. So quantum information system in the last few decades has gone through very rapid growth, right? And especially its discoveries about quantum entanglement and quantum entanglement entropy. And so basically the idea is that if there's interactions among neighboring units, such as atoms, molecules, or neurons, synapses, and so this kind of interaction can lead to quantum entanglement. And also many large range orders and also new phases, and this simply corresponds to the many-body quantum entanglement. So this is a discovery which is now applied in many fields, especially condensed matter physics. And so this we can apply to the neural network. And in fact, it's very interesting to notice that so in the study of the memory, right? So they find out the memory is basically the reactivation of specific groups of neurons formed from persistent firings that leads to changes in the strength of connection between neurons, right? And so this kind of connection can establish the quantum entanglement and coherence. And this can lead to the new phase and the new phase transition. So basically, according to quantum information theory, the memory basically corresponds to the unique entangled state, quantum entangled state. And also, so this quantum entangled state can be easily become decoherent through the environmental noise, right? So how can our body or system to protect this coherence? And so in the quantum information theory, they developed something called quantum error correction code, and to protect the coherence. But it turned out so that the idea is basically make some copies of the information into many states, and this states, they should be quantum entangled with each other. So if they can develop a system like that, then they can protect the coherence against the noise. But it's very interesting to see our body already developed this system. In fact, the neurons, some of neurons, they have hundreds, tens of thousands of synapses, and those synapses is shared one neuron body. So they are quantum entangled in some ways. And then each of the synapses, they can carry on some of the quantum information. So through this system, they can easily protect the quantum protect the memory. So we really think about the quantum theory. This theory can explain a lot of unexplained phenomena in the neuroscience gives a new insight. So, so next I'm going to show you. So this is our theory about how how the physical body can have conscious experience, right? How the brain can do the conscious experience, or any body actually have some kind of a conscious experience. So next I want to answer how our consciousness can affect the physical reality. So Descartes says that the only certainty there is, I'm conscious, therefore I am. So this means that consciousness could be more substantial, more fundamental than this physical reality. Yeah. So that's my and also in the quantum theory of consciousness, so quantum phenomena, or all the phenomena, is actually coming out manifested through the quantum measurement process. But when we do the quantum measurement process, and the consciousness is involved in every step. So that is why I propose consciousness is actually the driving force in determining the observed natural laws and phenomena. And I'm going to show you how that happens mathematically. And so I'm going to use 4 steps to show this. And so the first step, so I'm going to find out what is the basic constituents of the human consciousness. What is the elementary human consciousness? Yeah, like an elementary particle, right? And make up the whole world. So what is the elementary consciousness that make up all our consciousness? And so, so what our discovery is that there's only 2 pairs of elementary duality consciousness. So our human consciousness is has a probability of have the nature of duality, meaning that we think of something good, we automatically think of something is bad. We think of something is high, we're already comparing something is low. So there's duality. Our thinking is all human consciousness is duality, right? And there's 2 fundamental duality pairs of consciousness. One is we conscious, this is one is changing, this one is not changing, right? So that is one fundamental elementary consciousness we think is make up all human consciousness. Another consciousness we think is inclusion or exclusion. I say, oh, this belongs to me, this does not belong to me, right? So this kind of consciousness. So we think, all human consciousness can be described as these 2 kinds of consciousness. So this is our proposal, yeah? So yeah, we published article on this already and really show, we think this is the case. So now I can write down the mathematical formula about this 2. So basically, 2, the action that can be created by this 2 duality pairs. So first one actually is very interesting. I want to share the change on change. This consciousness is actually related to the time and space. So why is that? So when we talk about time, we usually the consciousness about the change. For example, to measure time is about the movement, right? Movement of the sand going through the sand dune, and the movement of the planet, yeah, is a measure of time. So time is a conscious. Time is really about a consciousness about change. And the space is our consciousness not changing. Like I measure this table, how long it is. It's really a measure, it's not changing, the quality of not changing. So, so I can write down the action that can be generated by this 2 duality of consciousness. So, so if I just think about the first duality pair, so I ends up creates action like this. So tau is time and zeta is space. And then if I include the other inclusion and exclusion pair, then I got this action. But it was very interesting for you to realize the first action. This action turns out to be the string theory. If you really learn string theory, you realize this is basically the action about string. And then the second, so if I include the exclusion and inclusion, so this action is basically superstring. So this, I basically got another way to derive string theory. But this is more general than string theory. String theory, and actually, we give a new meaning about what is really string theory, this action. So, so in one of our papers being published this month is about, so we basically consider, the holographic principle, meaning that, holographic principle is a fundamental principle, and then I can try to derive a theory out of derive a theory from the holographic principle. So what happened is when I was doing that, and I basically derived this two action. If I consider all the world, all the phenomena is coming from a hologram, and I literally derived this two action. So that is, and then from this two action, so then you can also derive, so this consciousness, what kind of information, energy, and matter it can create. So the way to do that, you can just add up all possibilities. So this is basically you're doing the standard quantum physics, and to calculate what kind of information, energy, and matter can be generated by this action. So this is our first step. We write down what kind of information, energy can be manifested by human consciousness. So, so this calculation is also very, at least to write down the mathematic formula is very easy. It's a standard quantum physics. And also, so in this theory, we just talk about the conscious space and time, but also the physical space and time is a projection out of the conscious space and time. You can also write this action in terms of a physical space and time. And then when you write down the physical space and time, you will see there's you can introduce a background field. This background field ends up to be the gravity, electromagnetic field, strong and weak force. So here I did not to write down the fermions just for the simplicity, but you can easily add the fermions into it. And then, so after I write down all the formula, what my consciousness, what kind of information, energy, and matter, what my consciousness, can generate, right, or can manifest, then I can study the natural laws my consciousness can manifest, and also what kind of phenomena my consciousness can can manifest or study. So what's very interesting to see is that, so by basically study this two equation, this two action, I literally can, this is one of the paper just being published, I literally can see how all the elementary particles can emerge out of this action. In fact, we can observe the elementary particle is because of there's this called Poincare symmetry in this action. And we can observe the gravity and the gauge interaction strong, weak, and electromagnetic forces because of a diffeomorphic symmetry in this two action. And then I will be able to observe the classical equation because the well symmetry. Well symmetry is kind of like a conformal symmetry or scaling symmetry. And also dark matter, dark energy also emerge out of this action. They turned out to be the vibrations on the level of a horizon. And because their frequency is so small, or, and their wavelength is so big, so that's why our detector is impossible to detect them, because you need a very it literally takes the whole universe, the whole lifetime to measure to be able to experience, or something as large as the detector as large as the universe to detect the dark matter and dark energy. That is why no detector can observe them, but we can feel them. And also the Higgs mechanism emerged out of this due to the boson and fermion condensation. And also we can predict the cosmological constant in agreement with cosmology. So basically the first prediction from from this holographic theory is that there exists. So if we think about our consciousness manifests everything we observe, determines everything we observe, and if we can describe our consciousness, yeah, all our consciousness coming from elementary consciousness, then so we can use a mathematical formula very easily to describe that. So, and if we think about everything is coming from our consciousness, then we can just use one mathematical formula to describe everything. So our theory literally predicts the grand unification theory. Grand unification theory really exists. And also we can show it mathematically, how it happens. So that's part of our work. So my field is in the grand unification theory. Been working on it almost 40 years. And so second prediction from this theory is that all the observed laws and the phenomena is emerged from a hologram. So it's a hologram, so I just showed you the mathematical formula to describe the hologram. The hologram is basically formed by our consciousness. This mathematically can be described by the holographic action. But it was very interesting. So, and I just, in our work, we can show this whole universe, elementary particle forces, everything is emerged from this hologram. But it's also very interesting for us to notice the DNA, the life codes to, our life system use the codes to, to code all the genetic information. The DNA is literally a hologram, so meaning that it's used two chains, right? And also 4 elements to encode all the information about life. So basically, it is so literally, this holographic action is describe the mathematically describes the double helix. So double helix is a holographic structure. So we can use basically holographic action to study the DNA mathematically, and also, but I don't know how to use this to study the neural network yet. So another prediction is that there's a time and space scaling invariance. And so this scaling invariance already observed in almost all the phenomena from astrophysics, particle physics, geology, in the life, in the brain, especially in neural network, they find so much scaling invariance. And also our prediction is that different phenomena, they also should have a scaling invariance, scaling symmetry between them. So there's people also study it, and it really shows that different phenomena has similarity as well. So, but this is a prediction from our theory. And another prediction is that conscious time can have a direction. So for a long time, they don't know how the conscious time have a direction, right? Or time has a direction. And also our theory literally can predict the conscious time can have a direction, and also the conscious time is proportional to the amount of information of that system. And so we can show that mathematically. Another thing is prediction is that from this theory is that if we can go, so all what I have shown that is based on the, our human consciousness, the duality consciousness. But if we just think about you through the cultivation, right, spiritual cultivation, if you can get your consciousness go beyond the duality, yeah, and then you can literally transcend the observed natural laws and phenomena. So this is the prediction we have. So I had a bet actually with Mill and Professor Mill and Blum. We were talking about literally, some if for the very advanced spiritual beings, if you can go to high consciousness, you can literally transcend the natural laws. So we're trying to do some experiments to really show that. And so there's many other predictions, but yeah, we don't have time. So thank you so much, and thank you.